Hey people of VC, it's Andy Cloudy Mulder, and I'm going to do a vinyl tag 2017 video for you. Seen a few of you guys do these recently, thought it'd be fun to have a go. So what, Billy Hurst, Harmless Rebel, Metal Ron, Blackmore Rules, and Ronald Wall. It was his first video that he's actually done. It was great to see him get involved, so I thought I'd give it a go. I did have another video lined up to do tonight, but I'll save that for a couple of days. Quite fancy doing this. So 20 questions, let's dive in. How many records do you own? According to Discogs, I've got 510 on there, and that's sort of all formats, LPs, 12-inch singles, 7-inch singles, and what have you. What kind of record player do you have? I have this one. It's a Reloop RP1000 Mark III. Looks like a Technics SL1200, but far from it. Fairly entry level turntable. I got it about 3 years ago now. 2014 was when I started getting back into digging out my vinyl out of the loft and checking it out again and getting interested in it. So I wasn't going to spend a fortune on a record player. I didn't know where this journey was going to take me. I certainly didn't expect to end up talking about my records on YouTube. But it sounds great. I'm really happy with it. I can't see myself upgrading anytime soon. Yeah, so number 3, how old were you when you started collecting? So I guess first time around, I didn't really consider myself collecting records. 14 was when I got into metal and started using my pocket money to buy records. It was the format of choice, that and taping records from friends. So yeah, so around 14, I mean, I didn't really consider myself a record collector. It was just music, and that's how I listened to it. And yeah, so between about 14 and 19 was when my initial record collection was built up, and then I carried on buying tapes, and then I moved on to CDs and MP3s and all sorts after that. And the second time I started collecting, I was 41, 42 a few years ago, and I've got more in that time than I did as a kid, but a bit more disposable income now, so there we go. What is the oldest record you own? So the oldest one I own is this one. This is my one and only Elvis Presley LP. This was bought from the local supermarket, I think. I think this is from 1960, either 69 or around 70, 71. I haven't played this in decades, probably since since I was a kid, and I used to love the Elvis movies that were on the TV, but I wouldn't consider myself an Elvis fan. I probably know a hell of a lot of his songs, but I wouldn't necessarily go out and buy any of it. And what makes this one particularly special is that if I ever want to know who won the European Football Cup between 1977 and 1982, I just refer to this album because quite handily I wrote it there when I was a kid, so I would never ever forget. So there we go, Elvis Presley. I got lucky. It was kind of my first. That was also the, so there's a question here about the first record you ever got. This was also the first record I ever got. I think I did have other ones. I'm sure I had Disney records, and I had nursery rhyme records and things like that when I was a kid, but I don't own those anymore. And this is the first one I remember. I didn't buy it, but I remember telling my mum, this is what I wanted. So there we go. Next up, what is the first record you ever got with your own money? So that was Adam the Ants, Prince Charming. This is what, 1981. Loved Adam and the Ants at the time. Between Adam and the Ants and bands like Madness and the Specials, that was kind of the music that was being played and I was into when I was in junior school here in the UK. So there we go. Haven't played that one for years either, actually. Probably should do it. So cracking album. What do we have next? The first record you got with your money. Yep, that was that one. Your favourite coloured vinyl. So I've got quite a few coloured vinyl now. I'm not. A lot of people say they hate coloured vinyl and they prefer black vinyl. The only time I prefer black vinyl really is when you have a choice and it's cheaper, and I'm not going to spend an extra £2 or £3 for coloured vinyl. But so this October 31 Bury the Hatchet has got a very nice coloured vinyl. There we go, sort of like a cloud night, beautiful sunny day, wispy clouds. So that's very nice. But I've got loads of different sort of splatter or swirl or bold colour ones, but I particularly like that one. Next up, what is a discount album you own? Now I take that to be, I guess, a record that I got on the cheap that isn't necessarily a cheap album or a great bargain that's actually worth more than I paid for it. And I've seen it on the few videos I've seen, people showing kind of, I guess maybe US people have watched Dollar Bin and they've picked something up at a thrift store. Mine was actually on eBay and it was down to a spelling mistake, and I have shown this one before. And the reason why this is a great discount one is because it was advertised as Angle Witch rather than Angel Witch. I ended up spending as much on this as I maybe would do with it on a new record, but probably a third of the price that is actually is worth, because it's an original 1980 pressing on bronze. So I was actually stoked when I got that, and I've always thanked the fact that Angle Witch was advertised on eBay. So that's probably the best discount record. Next up, fell down. What is your prized possession? I've got a few of them. I think I've got a couple here to show. Going away from metal this time is this is actually a 12-inch single for the Manic Street Preachers. So they're from my hometown of Cardiff, and this was the first single that they had out. It's a little bit of a rarity, I guess, now. For a 12-inch single, it's quite a nice thing to have, and it's worth probably quite a lot more than I paid for it. But yeah, I enjoy that one. But also, I guess from an album point of view, my most prized would be Live After Death by Iron Maiden. This is nothing special in terms of pressing, other than it's an original pressing from 1985. It's the first metal album I had, and I've said this before, my sister bought it for me. I think she wore dark glasses, and she was more into New Romantics and Duran Duran and Spandau Ballet and bands like that, and she had to go in and buy this for me for my Christmas present. But yeah, it means the world to me. I would never ever give this one up. I have other records that have got signatures on that either I've bought, was signed, or had signed by the band, but this would be probably my most prized of the lot. What's next? Number 10. A record by a female artist. Record by a female artist. I've got a few bands that are either female fronted or all female rock bands like Girl School or Rock Goddess I could have chosen, but I read this as it's a female artist, it's not a band, so I've gone for one of Doro's solo albums, Force Majeure. Doro from Warlock, obviously. Very good album if you've not heard it. What's next? A record by your favourite band. So I've got lots of favourite bands. Anthrax, Suicidal Tendencies, early Metallica. There's lots of bands I could have chosen from, but Iron Maiden was probably the first band I got into, so I'll choose something from them. I've shown Live After Death already. I probably would have shown that one otherwise, but this is one of my favourite records that I have from them as well. So this is a 12-inch single. This is Women in Uniform from 1980. It's got Invasion and a live version of Phantom of the Opera on the flip side. This is obviously Paul Di'Anno era Iron Maiden. I just love that cover. Growing up in Thatcher, Britain, it was kind of amazing to see this on a record cover. So yeah, there we go. So that will be a record from my favourite band. An impulse buy. I presume that means blind buy. Now, I've a hell of a lot of blind buys, especially these days. I'm going to collect a lot of 80s metal music, and generally speaking, if it's under the category of heavy metal, whether it's on Discogs or even when I'm out digging, if it looks like something I like, I'll buy it. So I have a lot of those. But what I've picked for this one was the first blind buy that I ever made, and that was visiting my sister. My sister was in university in Bath in England, and I had some time. I went round to a record shop. I saw this Suicidal Tendencies self-titled album. This is a repress, 1987 repress, and just thought this looked really, really interesting. Not only the names of the songs, but the all the shirts with all the pictures drawn on them, and blew me away when I took it home and heard it, and I was then hooked on blind buying. And as I said, I've got a hell of a lot of blind buys since this one, but this was the first. A gift. I've been blessed to have a lot of gifts since I've been doing VC videos. I've been lucky enough to have quite a few good VCLT packages, trades, since I collected vinyl again. My wife tends to buy me records for my birthday and Christmas, what have you, but those ones tend to be ones that I've kind of prompted her for, given her a list. So I've chosen as a gift, I think the first VCLT I got was from Corey's VC channel, and he sent me this US pressing of Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. And the amazing thing about it was, not only did it blow me away that he sent me a vinyl copy of this, but it was also sealed, and I did a sealed to reveal video. At the time, it's no longer sealed. It's living and breathing. It sounds amazing, but yeah, this is one of my favourite gifts, vinyl gifts that I've had to date, and something that I will always cherish. What next? Most played record. I'm going to show two for this, partly because one of them I've shown already, so excuse me. Going back, as it was the first album I really had that defined the direction of music I was going to take. And yeah, so Live After Death, had it since I was about 14, 15 years old, played it a lot, still play it now. More recently, the album that is my most played record is Deadlord, Head Hell's High. Absolutely love this album. I've played it and played it and played it. Well, this was actually going to be in the update I was going to do tonight, so you'll see that again in a couple of days. But Deadlord, brilliant album from a couple of years ago. I can't get enough of that one. Number 15, a rarity. Yes, I got these out of order now. Let's see. So I have chosen. Now this record wasn't limited edition. It's just one that I had never ever seen. It was a grail for me because it was the only album from this band that I was missing on vinyl. Couldn't find it anywhere. It came out in 1983. It has only ever been repressed once, and that was in 1994 in Germany. and I could just never find it anywhere. And I mentioned that on a video, and then within a couple of weeks, VCLT, Helmet Diggy, Bill, he, lo and behold, the guy has a Trevor Trove's treasure trove. I've only had that much beer as well. It's ridiculous. A treasure trove of music, and he just picked this out and said, you know, had a copy of this, and blew me away. It's still in the shrink as well. Fantastic. So yeah, my rarity is Subterranean Jungle by the Ramones. A feel-good album. That's an easy one for me. One of my favourite bands. It's a non-metal band, and I got into them in the late '80s, and I've been following them ever since. And I saw them live a few weeks back, and I'm going to see them live again in a couple of months. And that's the Wedding Present, George Best. This is a repress. I'd love to have an original, but they go for silly money now. But this is this sounds brilliant. I know every song on here like the back of my hand. This album is actually 30 years old this year, and as I said, I'm going to see them in a few months in Glasgow, and they're going to play the whole album in its entirety. So really looking forward to that. What's next? A feel-good album, or a rainy day album. What was that one? Was that a feel-good or was that a rainy day? I can't remember what order I'm doing these in now. Rainy day album next. I've gone out of order. So my rainy day album, Manic Street Preachers, another non-metal band, still a rock band. But this is the first album they released after Richie Edwards went missing. The first one they did is a 3-piece. I love Manic Street Preachers. It's if I want something that's not metal, and I want something that's got a great, just great tunes, and is going to take away the blues of a rainy day, I'll pick something like Manic Street Preachers. James Dean Bradfield has got one of my favourite vocalists, favourite sounding voices of all time. Actually, I got this for my birthday last week, and it's still sealed. So tell you what, let's do a quick seal to reveal. I don't think there'll be anything too exciting in here. It's exclusive limited edition heavyweight blue vinyl. I hadn't planned on doing this actually, but here we go. Let's see. In the sleeve. And well, do you know what? I think I may have changed my mind on a favourite coloured vinyl. That is beautiful. So there we go. That is my rainy day album, Manic Street Preachers. Everything Must Go. A nostalgic album. So this isn't an album really. This is it's more like a mini comp of singles, but so this is Dinosaur Jr. Fossils. Dinosaur Jr. kind of remind me from my student years, moving away from home. I was moving away from metal music for a bit. I was getting more into sort of indie rock music through bands like Manic Street Preachers and Wedding Present and Dinosaur Jr. It was still fairly rock oriented, but the song Freak Scene just blew me away, and I've always loved that song ever since. And I had the single, I've got that on CD, and couldn't miss the opportunity to pick that up on vinyl as well. So a lot of good memories associated with this one. Nothing in particular, nothing superbly happy or superbly sad associated with it, but just good, happy memories from moving away from home for the first time and just beginning my life as an adult. So that's pretty cool. Record store day purchase. I've never done record store day. I don't think it's some people may correct me here, but I just don't think it's a big thing in the UK, certainly not as big as the US. I've never been, I don't buy a lot of albums at full price, and record stores today seems to be full price plus, and yeah, not really that fussed about it. So give that one a miss. And finally, number 20, a recent purchase, and that's disappeared. Where's it gone? Yeah. There we go. Another one that I have for my birthday. Again, this one's still sealed. I'm not going to open this one just yet. I'm going to wait until I'm ready to hear it. I was lucky enough to get a good stack of vinyl for my birthday from various people, enough to last me the next few weeks. This is Terminal Redux by Vektor. This was high on a lot of people's rock and metal 2016 videos. So there we go. And, so I've just been joined. This is Biscuit. So a bit of a sad story about Biscuit. He joined our family last week, and my daughters are allergic to him, so unfortunately he's going to have to go next week. So all a little bit sad at the moment. So I'll have to get out my Rainy Day album and enjoy that. But we've got a couple more days with him, and so first and last time you'll see him. There we go. Anyway, so there we go. That's my Vinyl Tag 2017 video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope there's some records there that you've seen or maybe not seen before. I've got so this was the stack of records I was supposed to show tonight. So I'll probably be doing another video in the next couple of days and get that one out. But I've enjoyed doing this one. It's been great watching some of you guys do them as well. That's a lot. See ya. Bye.